The Redmi Note 8 has been designed to hit the critical 9,999 rupee price point, but the version that we're reviewing costs 12,999 rupees. Is this phone the best option that you can now get at either of these price points? Check out our review to find out. Before we get started, please do remember to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified whenever we put up a new video. The Redmi Note 8 is a fairly ordinary looking 2019 budget phone with a 6.3-inch Full HD Plus screen that covers nearly all of the front and a water drop notch at the top. The screen is crisp and bright, though not especially vibrant. It's good for entertainment and most people won't find anything to complain about. There's a tiny white notification LED above the screen. You get a USB Type-C port, 3.5mm audio socket, and a single speaker on the bottom. Xiaomi's also done a pretty good job with the single speaker, and although there really isn't any bass to speak of, voices and dialogue in videos come across clear and crisp. Xiaomi has gone with Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back of this phone, and both sides have rounded edges. Thankfully, the glass back is not slippery. It is a challenge to keep this finish free of smudges and fingerprints though. The power button and fingerprint sensor are easy enough to reach, but the volume buttons are a bit too high. Fingerprint and face recognition were both quick. There's an infrared emitter on the top and the dual SIM plus microSD card tray is on the left. Xiaomi says it has used a P2i coating to make this phone splash-proof, which is nice to have. Our review unit was running MIUI 10.3.1 on top of Android 9 with the September 2019 security patch. There's still lots of preloaded bloatware, most of which can be uninstalled. You'll have to live with Xiaomi's infamous spammy notifications and ads unless you carefully tweak the permissions for certain troublesome apps such as the Get App Store and MIUI browser. In spite of this, MIUI ran smoothly and we didn't feel any hiccups even when multitasking. PUBG Mobile ran at its low preset and the graphics quality wasn't great, but the game ran perfectly smoothly. Gameplay didn't suffer when we raised quality manually, but the rest of this phone did get pretty warm even after just one match. Asphalt 9 Legends was a little laggy in the menus and there was stuttering in the races as well. The 4000 mAh battery is enough to get you through a full workday, during which we played games, streamed videos and took lots of photos. We were left with about 25% in the battery after all of this. Our HD video loop test ran for 13 hours and 10 minutes, which is also pretty good. The 18-watt charger took the Redmi Note 8 from 0 to 37% in half an hour and 81% in 1 hour. One of the biggest selling points of the Redmi Note 8 is its rear quad camera setup. There's a 48-megapixel f1.79 camera, an 8-megapixel f2.2 wide-angle camera, a 2-megapixel macro camera, and a 2-megapixel depth sensor. The primary camera on the Redmi Note 8 gave us crisp, bright shots with very good detail. Subjects at a distance tended to be grainier than we would have liked, but close-ups came out looking great. Colors were good and there was some nice natural depth of field. Details were sometimes lost when shooting brightly colored objects or in scenes with contrasting backgrounds. Shots taken with the wide-angle camera on the Redmi Note 8 tended to suffer in terms of clarity and exposures were not balanced either, but there was little to no warping at the edges of our frames. We struggled a little bit with locking focus in low light and when using the macro camera on the Redmi Note 8. Other than the issue with autofocus detection, we found that our low light shots were sometimes blotchy and noisy, and there could be some motion blur if we weren't very still. Again, the wide-angle camera produced far less detail. The macro camera on the Redmi Note 8 can be fun to use and lends itself to creative framing. The depth of field it produces can make subjects stand out, but they aren't captured in very high quality. Also, we found it hard to capture anything that was moving. As for video, we found that the Redmi Note 8 managed decent quality at 1080p, but colors were overblown at 4K. There was also little to no evidence of stabilization, which limits usability. At night, video quality was not as good. The Redmi Note 8 has a 13-megapixel f2 front camera. We felt that our skin texture had been smoothened and softened too much while the background was crisper and stole attention. Beautification has to be turned off manually, which is a multi-tap process. At night, selfies came out grainy and blurry. With the Redmi Note 8, you get enough power for everyday tasks, strong battery life, and a crisp high-resolution screen. Unfortunately, heavy games didn't run so well because of this. The cameras can be impressive in favorable conditions, but there are limits to what you should expect. The base variant of the Redmi Note 8 offers excellent value for money when compared to the Realme 5 or the Vivo U10. However, when stepping up to the higher priced variant, the choice isn't as clear-cut in favor of this phone, especially because there's stiff competition from the likes of the Vivo Z1 Pro and Xiaomi's own Mi A3. That was our review of the new Redmi Note 8. Thanks for watching, and for more videos like this, please do remember to visit us at gadgets360.com.